Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44. So, I want to talk about some life stuff. Just got off the phone with one of my exes. Very tough situation I went through with her. I don't want to get into the exact situation, but it was back when I was 25 years old. Long past it. Took a lot to get through it, but we got through it. But point was, I would have gave my arm, my leg, my foot, my head, every bit of my soul to this person because I idolized her and put her on a pedestal back then. And she basically was trying to pull away from me because I was too much for her, and that energy was not something she wanted from me. It's cool. We ended on a bad breakup. She decided to move on before I actually, you know, wanted to move on myself, and got myself heartbroken and all that good stuff. Drank myself to sleep, all that good stuff. Um, Went through a long time of holding on to her, even though she was long gone and moved on. Finally busted up enough strength to move on from her when I was going through some of the worst things in my life, and didn't talk to her for about 4 years. She just popped back up into my life at absolute random, and proceeded to tell me that she's gone through some things, basically what seems like some real tough heartbreak of her own. And she was proceeding to tell me all the stuff that she had done for this person over the period of time they've been together. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, you are terrible at having intuition. You choose people for the wrong reasons. Because here I was willing to give you my heart, soul, everything, this, that, and the third, treating me like dog shit. And here we have a person over here treating you like dog shit. And you giving him your arm, foot, leg, heart, soul. Like, I've come to a point in my life where I realized that I was doing a lot of the things that I was doing for the wrong reasons. Picking people because they looked a certain way, talking to people because I felt a certain way in their presence, or because they wanted me, or to show me energy that I felt I deserved to get from the world that I hadn't felt I'd been getting. Stupid reasons. Not because you're compatible, not because you got a good, synergy between the two of y'all, not because I felt like I couldn't live without this person necessarily. It's more so because I was getting something from them that I wasn't feeling I was getting from anywhere else. And that, to me, seemed like a wrong reason to be with somebody. You got to have a real connection and a real determination to make something work. And a loyalty and sacrifice has to be on the forefront of each of your minds in regards to not only sacrificing other people that you could be dealing with, but also making the sacrifices necessary to put up with certain stuff so that your relationship can work. And for me, I was just highly offended at the fact that she read me so wrong in the past, discarding somebody who would do anything for her, and then doing anything for someone who was willing to discard her, lie to her, do all kinds of different stuff that I won't get into too much because it's not really my business to tell. But this guy was doing a lot, living a double life type stuff. It's just like, wow, like she wouldn't piss on a fire to put me out back in the day, but she proceeded to tell me all of this about what she was doing for this person. It's funny how we all end up chasing our own tail, or wanting things that don't want us, or wanting things that we can't have, so to speak. And the people that want us the most, people that love us the most, people that cherish us the most, we don't give a damn about them. I'm guilty of that. 100% guilty of that. That's why I probably got the curse of this individual in my life. She did me that way. That's probably why the karma of this man came into her life. It's a vicious cycle, man. You gotta love people for the right reasons. You gotta be willing to sacrifice when you do. And most of all, if you're only there to exalt yourself or receive energy that you feel you deserve because you're alive and you're yourself, so therefore you should be getting treated this way, and you're not willing to do some treating, some sacrificing, some committing, some setting aside of your own for them without just you getting what you deserve in the process, if you just there to be happy and not there to make someone else happy or to share in happiness, it ain't gonna work. A lot of times we do things because we want to feel good about ourselves. We don't want to make other people feel good. We could care less about them because we can't feel what they feel. What they eat don't make you poo, right? So therefore you do what's best for you. And if somebody else happens to find themselves to fit within that, great. If they don't fit with that, or if any given point they don't fit with that, you're out. You're taking half with you. Like that's not love. That's selfishness. That's self-indulgence. You are basically expressing how self-absorbed you are and how unwilling you are to do anything if it doesn't affect your own happiness. You'll go to war with anybody who dares cross you, but what are you doing to put forth a commitment of your own? Are you living in a space where you want to have your cake and eat it too, and then dare someone else to have that same feeling in regards to you? You'll sit up and be a hypocrite in the process of your own relationship and wonder why it falls apart. I'm just saying, some of this applies to some of you, some of it applies to others. But at the end of the day, everybody goes through something in regards to relationship. And for those of us who've made relationships work, or tried to make relationships work, it required a lot of sacrifice to make that happen. Love sometimes ain't enough. Infatuation and lust, good sex, what have you, ain't enough. You got to be willing to put aside some things. You got to be willing to be in the presence of people that are attractive and not allow yourself to be available. You got to be in a situation where your relationship ain't going so well and you guys aren't on the same page and you're not looking elsewhere to satisfy your own needs. You got to be in the process of being able to tell somebody exactly how you feel and then being willing to work with them and trying to acquiesce to their feelings as well. You got to be willing to get therapy together at times, depending on how serious what it is you're going through. Set aside some things that you want financially so that they can have the things that they need in their relationship with you. Sacrificing is so very important. And so many of us are too afraid, too selfish, too self-absorbed, and lack self-awareness to the point where we can't make those sacrifices. Unwilling to make those sacrifices. Too afraid in terms of whether or not you feel that person's worth making those sacrifices for, because you don't trust the jaded nature of one's spirit to keep you from actually having conversations with someone to tell them, hey, this is what we need to do to make this work for us. This is what I need from you, and this is what I'm willing to do for you. I'm listening and all of that good stuff. It needs to be said and it needs to be acted upon. And if you're not willing to do everything to make your relationship work and willing to set aside your own fear of being heartbroken, fear of being alone, fear of choosing the wrong person, of wasting your time with the wrong person, fear of not being able to raise your kids properly if y'all got kids together, all these different fears that will either keep you in a relationship you shouldn't be in or push you away from a relationship that could work if you just do what you need to do to make it happen. I'm glad that I went through what I went through with this person. I'm glad that she broke my heart in several million pieces, because it helped me understand that I was looking for the wrong things from the wrong entity. I should have been looking inward for my happiness and then being willing to share that happiness with someone else, not looking to her to fill some void that was otherwise not filled from other situations that may have kept me feeling empty. Traumas that I needed to work through, accountability factors, a lack of hard work on my part, maybe several different things for someone else, but those were mine that kept me looking into a relationship where I was asking someone to put up with me while I wasn't doing what I needed to do to put forth the best version of myself. You got to be willing to do some things, and you got to be willing to some degree to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a sacrifice in and of itself, because you're sacrificing your defenses. You're allowing yourself the possibility of being hurt, because trust comes from that understanding and that vulnerability. You got to just be willing to get hurt in order to truly embrace love, because if you are out here trying to protect yourself and using other people as insurance to make sure that you have the assurances you need, that you can at least get that get back if somebody does something to you or breaks your heart or cheats on you, then you're going to initiate the very failure that you're afraid of. Your relationship is incumbent upon you not fearing to being heartbroken so much that you forget to have faith in the person that you're with. A lot of times we care so much about what's going to happen to us or what could go wrong if we lose that person that we try to supplement them with other people. Oh, this is not fulfilled, so let me try to find someone else who could fill this need. Now we're gonna live this double life because the both of y'all together makes a perfect person. Yeah, but what are you? Because in doing that and having that selfishness, guess what? You're not the perfect person for either of the people or the many people that you're trying to balance. You don't care enough about who you are in the process of trying to make them happy or that person happy. That selfishness is going to be the very thing that ends up bringing forth a karma that is going to be something that you are not going to be able to handle. And you'll be without the true love that you really, truly deserve. Better yet, without the deserving of that love. And it won't be there. Who are you in the relationship that you're trying to be a part of? Are you trying to make somebody else happy by sharing the happiness that you've already found within yourself? Are you trying to make somebody whole and ensuring that they can be, secure within the relationship that you provide? Are you willing to set aside some things so that security can be there? Because it is your responsibility to help them be secure, despite what many think. It ain't your job to make your person stay on their toes in hopes of protecting yourself from what it is that they could possibly do away from you. No. You got to be open and willing to be hurt in order for love to be received. It doesn't mean that hurt has to come, but sometimes it just does. Not everybody gonna do the right things. But if you find the person that you're supposed to be with and you've seeked out the right things for the right reasons, you have a better chance of it working. I guarantee you that. Ill-gotten gain will always be lost the same way it's gotten, in a very ill way. So keep that in mind when you decide to take somebody else's person away. Even if you don't end that relationship that you're in a poor way, someday you're going to get your heart broke too. It just is what it is. And that's what I got for y'all. BDF. Peace.